right, folks, it's time. It's Groundhog's Day, and we are all awaiting Chattanooga Chuck's answer as to whether we're going to have a longer winter or if spring is right around the corner.
Let's go live to Brandon Evans. He is down in Chattanooga. So, Brandon, tell us what's happening. What are you hearing from Chattanooga Chuck?
Well, Greg and Lauren, I'm down in Chattanooga, but I'm up on the roof here at the Chattanooga, the Tennessee Aquarium, where Chattanooga Chuck about to make his big prediction. We've got him out here on a table of sorts here on the roof. It's a beautiful morning, light rain, a little bit of clouds. You can't really see much right now, but that doesn't really matter because what he might see might be different than what we might see, of course, because he is the prognosticator of prognosticators, the very famous Chattanooga Chuck. Parade Magazine says one of the most 5 famous groundhogs around, too, along with Beauregard Lee down in Georgia and, of course, Punxsutawney Phil in Pennsylvania. And now we see he's out of his cage, and he is casually eyeballing the log that is on the table.
Let's see what you guys want to know. If we're going to have a longer winter, you want to follow this.
Everything hinges on this. 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but he looks like he's pretty excited to be out and about.
We're also known as a woodchuck or a whistle pig. If we take a quick look at his face, you may recognize him as another type of animal that you find in your backyard. He's actually a member of the squirrel family.
I think he's pretty cute. She just said he's the member of the squirrel family.
Surrounding groundhogs and predicting the weather as to whether or not he's going to have more spring, or if spring is on the way, or if winter is still.
We also know this is the 7th year that he's done this. And he's having a very healthy, tasty breakfast right now.
This tradition started in Europe as a celebration of Candlemas, which happened between the winter solstice and the spring equinox.
You're watching Chattanooga Chuck at the Tennessee Aquarium, about to predict 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. I do not believe he has seen his shadow yet.
But they did come across this cute little critter called a groundhog, and they decided he would be a great substitute.
That is so cute.
And groundhogs are a little different than a lot of the other squirrels that you find around our area, because we generally think of them as eating lots of different types of nuts. But groundhogs live down under the ground, making these extensive burrow systems that can be a tunnel as long as a school bus. So they do a lot of digging, and they're going to eat more of the things that they find on the ground. So more of the leaves, the stems, the softer parts of plants. Well, he can't really store those like other squirrels can cache the nuts. So his method for surviving the winter is to actually hibernate. So he goes to sleep about Thanksgiving time and doesn't fully wake up until much closer to Easter time.
Wow, learning that Chattanooga Chuck's been hibernating since Thanksgiving, which I know all of us feel like we do right after our Thanksgiving meal, but he really does legitimately not wake up until about this time.
Fun too, and so there's folklore surrounding.
Looks pretty active right now.
That are also here at the Tennessee Aquarium that help us to know what the
Chattanooga Chuck.
Some of that
7th year predicting an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter. Out and about this morning right now, watching Good Morning Chattanooga, one of the 5 most famous groundhogs around, according to Parade Magazine. And he's looking. He's looking.
So this is what he sent to me earlier this morning. Good morning.
Here's the official call.
You're here to learn if the weather will be fair, or if ice and snow will soon come round before springtime blooms adorn the town. I awoke this morning, and wouldn't you know, my shadow's not here, though I've searched high and low. So this groundhog's calling it right here today. An early spring is on the way. And to help make sure that my forecast can be seen by all, he's turned the peaks to the green up here as well.
All right, so you heard that. Early spring. Early spring from Chattanooga Chuck. All right, well, here from the Tennessee Aquarium, we're going to have more. We're going to see if we can get an interview with Chattanooga Chuck, see why he feel like he is going to be an early spring. So that's, gotta love it. The prognosticator of prognosticators. Great morning here at the Tennessee Aquarium. Chattanooga Chuck predicting an early spring. So, Brian, eat your heart out.
No!
Brandon, we are so excited. Give Chattanooga Chuck a high five for us this morning because I'm pumped. Lauren thought he was going to say 6 more weeks
Tell
of winter.
Chattanooga Chuck I'm very disappointed in him. I thought we had a bond going
Well, there's
on.
always next year. You know, Brian, what do you think about this prediction?
Yeah, the man has spoken. Let's get right into our graphics. So there we go. We've got one of the 3 that we're watching. Of course, we love Chuck the most here, where he has put the check mark there, predicting early spring. Now, all 3 of them said early spring last year. We'll hear from Beauregard Lee a little bit later on the 7 o'clock hour, and hope to hear from Phil just after 7 a.m. But Chattanooga Chuck has made it official. Spring is just around the corner. My opinion, I think it's a pretty safe bet. However, we are still going to see some signs of winter here and there through the next couple of months. What are your thoughts? You could tweet us at StormTrack Brian. You could also post your thoughts on our Facebook page there at News Channel 9. So again, are you happy to see spring, or are you sad because we may not see any more winter? We'll see.